just kind of doing a little hike. And I figured, you know, we'll just do a Q&A type of live stream. Kind of no particular subjects. I just like to reach out to you guys, let you guys ask some questions, and we'll kind of just go from there type of thing. So I am out here hiking. It's a little chilled out here. It was like straight up like 65 degrees, and then the wind and clouds kind of came in and cooled things off a decent amount. It kind of sucked going from t-shirt to having to wear a hoodie. And oh, I do got the little mini me on me. Everybody say hi to Gideon, the mini huntsman. Gideon, say hi. He's still not talking a whole lot. He's not even 2 years old though, so that's kind of expected. So I wanted to kind of chat about some things coming with the channel. So my wife is 9 months pregnant, and I do have another kid on the way, obviously. So I probably, once we have second kid, it might be, you know, a couple weeks that I'm not uploading a whole lot of content. It might be kind of hard for me to do like a live stream or anything like that at that point too, because I'll be taking care of a newborn. So, you know, it's definitely a blessing, but just wanting to let you guys know that if I'm not posting videos for, you know, next 2 weeks to maybe even a month or so, then hey, hello there, Anaso323. I can't quite pronounce that right, probably, but yeah, thank you for hopping on. I get it, we're all busy these days, but as I was saying, I will be having my second child before too long, so I might be a little lax on uploading videos. I try to thank you. Yeah, I try to upload a full-length video every week and shorts every day, and I haven't really been doing the shorts every day like usual. And yeah, and we don't know if it's a boy or girl. We never did ultrasound or anything. We're doing an all-natural midwife type of birth, so we'll find out. I already got names picked out either way though, so we're good there. And then but I just did want to let you guys know that if I am gone for, you know, a couple weeks to a month or more, then it's not because, you know, I quit YouTube or anything like that. It's just working job, farm, and taking care of a new baby. So fortunately, I'm not working 2 jobs anymore. I'm glad that I'm out of that thing, but we are also looking to build a new house, so we're going to be pretty busy there. In case you guys ever wonder, I'm just kind of hiking along this trail here. This is part of my property, so I'm never going to really tell you guys exactly where I'm at, but I am in central Missouri area, and I'm on about 200 acres of ground. How about that? So that's why I have a lot of woods and hiking trails and places that I can go. I am going to be grabbing a couple new things in the near future. So that will be some like future reviews to kind of keep an eye out for. I'm going to be grabbing a new AR-10. Well, we're all sinful, and usually the people who claims that and tries to cast like, oh, you need to repent for your sinful life, you're usually the types that are the most sinful, usually. I know I'm a sinner, and I know I fall far behind. I don't know how having farm, homestead, kids, and all that good stuff is sin, though. I don't know where you even come up with that assumption. But yeah, how dare you commit any sins? Oh, the gay neighbors. Okay, all right. Yeah, well, I could tell we already got the Giga Gay trolls on here. Here, you get the gay block hammer, and you get the gay block hammer, and yeah, God bless you too. Well, see, here's the thing: the trolls are bad these days. I don't know what's the deal. Me and John did a live just last Sunday, and the trolls are really bad on the lives anymore. It's about every live I got to block about 10 people, which I don't know if you guys caught this when I was doing the live, but a lot of people don't realize this, but you can buy trolls. And so if like somebody gets like pissed off at you, or I say giga gay or retard or something like that, and they just get triggered for some reason, they can get on and buy trolls for like $1, and they'll hire 15 people from India or China or whatever to just troll your channel, and they'll make 15 different accounts and all that crap. So just letting you guys know how some of that works. And of course, some YouTubers has figured out too that creating a lot of drama gets them more views, clicks, and likes and all that, and acting like really stupid where every like thumbnail they act like they're excited or something, and it's like, I'm not gonna be fake like that. If you guys want to follow me, fine. If you don't, get. That's kind of what I say. Yeah, well, you get the band hammer too. And then, see, here's the thing. Free speech is all cool and all, but there's also repercussions for it too. Actually, let's go off the deep end real quick. What do you guys think about bringing back dueling? I don't know. I feel like there wouldn't be so much drama and people wouldn't talk so much shit if you can challenge somebody to a duel. Yeah, I actually do need to do a channel mod. I do. I'll be honest, I don't know how exactly to even do it, to be totally honest. I haven't done a whole lot of live streams till like the last year or so. So, if you followed me for a while, you know my email. I'm not going to give it out on a live stream, but if you got my email, email me and we'll try to figure out about doing a channel mod. Well, I think if you were going to have a duel, you'd have to have both consenting parties. And if somebody backed out, then that's kind of on them. Then it just makes them look bad. Yeah, howdy there, Asia. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the comments here as well. And then Steel Mindset said there's a popular Bible story, those without sin cast of... Yeah, exactly. He, and it's a lot of the holier than thou church crowd that can't even actually tell you what the Bible even says will be the ones that'll be the most adamant that everybody else is some kind of sinner and they're like just perfectly fine. So a couple things that I'm gonna be getting for the channel before too long, and I'm buying these with my own money and stuff. I'm gonna be getting an AR-10 to do some videos on. I had a PSA AR-10, and I kind of got in a little bit of a funk, and so I ended up having to part ways with it. But I'm definitely in a much better financial point now. So I'm gonna be looking at doing I think I'm gonna go with a CMMG AR-10. I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing from there. Their quality's pretty nice. And then I think I'm gonna try to do the Tops, what is it? The Kumakage little short sword. I think that's gonna be coming onto the channel before too long too. If you guys been following me, I made a post a little while ago about I'm gonna be doing some sword content, and it kind of goes a bit of a throwback to who and what I used to do. So way back in the day, I used to get into like swords a lot more, and I competed a little bit in some HEMA stuff and all that good stuff. And thank you, Steel Mindset. Yes, definitely hit the like and all that. And of course, I upload all my lives. I don't just, I don't just do a live and then throw it away like some people do. And James, yes, it is kind of like the weird G.I. Joe one. I'm not a total big fan of it, but at the same time, it looks like it's built like a tank too. So I kind of want to try it, and I actually feel like it'd be more of like, well, how would I say it? Like a bushcraft survival tool more than like an actual fighting sword per se, but it might be able to transition to that. And in case you guys didn't catch it earlier, I got Gideon, the mini Huntsman, on me. And hello from Germany. Yeah, I feel bad for you guys over there in Germany. You guys are kind of deep behind enemy lines, and your country is kind of hijacked by multinational bankers. All of them are, quite frankly, but Germany is kind of in a real bad position right now. Oh. Yeah, like I said, every country is. It's basically for the government, by the government, alongside the banks and the corporations. And Peterbilt Knife Guy, guys, if you don't follow Peterbilt Knife Guy, be sure to go give him a like and follow and all that good stuff. And tell him how much you appreciate him cutting nails with knives and stuff. He needs to do some other knives. I think he needs to do all of his survive knives with nail cutting, and then do destruction test on them all. Oh, thank you all. And you need to change your name. You're gonna change your YouTube channel name. I changed my YouTube channel name. I was actually gonna go through like a drastic name change. I think my YouTube channel name used to be like The Last Huntsman or something like that. And then I was gonna go with something like really drastic, and I couldn't really think of anything. And then I just switched it to Last Huntsman Outdoors, and it kind of seems to stick. So in case you guys ever am curious, the term Last Huntsman, it's kind of a play off of a couple things. As a kid, I was a fan of the Last of the Mohicans movie. So it's kind of a bit of a play of that. And it's kind of a bit of a play off of a fantasy book I've been writing for God knows how long. I'm gonna shed this little beanie here. Getting a little warm, toasty out here. What are you thinking about changing your name to, Peterbilt? Okay, so the Eagle, the Very Good Knife Company, Eagle will be dropping. We don't have a for sure date yet, but it's probably going to be early April when it drops. And people's asking, where am I? I'm in Missouri. So the free state, or relatively free state of Missouri. I'm in Missouri. I'm kind of smack dab in the middle of the state, and kind of the part where it turns from Ozarkian hills and hollers to kind of open fields. I'm kind of like right on the edge of both. So I'm not going to tell you guys exactly where I'm at. I'm sure somebody real clever can figure it out. Peterbilt nail guy. You need to make a whole channel around just like smacking knives through nails and breaking knives and shit, and then like trigger people. Like, you need to do like an entire buck series where you just break bucks, and then you need to break moras too, because you got the buckaroos and the moratards. They'll all get real triggered by all that. Oh. Yeah, Peterbilt, I was talking about grabbing that Tops sword. I sent you a link to it. I actually think that might be something you would like. You like big choppy things, and that's kind of big and choppy, so... I don't even know what the hell Bob don't even know what the hell Bob's talking about here. You know, I'm sure people has sold my address. I'm sure it's mostly companies and stuff, and because I leave my email out public too, it does get a lot of spam sometimes, and I'll go through and clean it up and stuff, and I've had people email me threats and weird crap too. It's real crazy. When I had a couple videos on testing out some Survive knives that John let me borrow, I had people like straight up threatening me over a freaking Survive knife on my own personal email, which was just ridiculous. Well, Peterbilt, yeah, they are, but that Tops little short sword is kind of like in a weird category of its own. It's kind of both. Like, I've handled one before, and it's definitely, it doesn't handle like a sword per se, because I don't know how many people here are sword people, but a sword should be fairly balanced. And so, you know, it should have a little bit of counterweight, especially towards like the pommel, generally speaking, just so it makes it feel a little lighter in hand, so it can be utilized more as like a weapon, obviously. While that Tops Kumakage doesn't really have that, and it kind of almost has that bulbous end on it where it looks like it would just going off of memory, because I handled one at Blade Show last year in Texas. It handles almost like the weight distribution on it feels kind of like an axe almost. But oh well, like I said, this is kind of a Q&A type of live stream. So if you guys got any questions for me, then it's too skinny for you. Well, I get told that a lot. I mean, if anybody has ever met me personally, I'm little over 6 foot tall and like 145 pounds. Like, I'm tall and lean. So that's just kind of my build. So I've always been a skinny dude. Actually, the heaviest I ever gotten was when I was in Marine infantry school, and I got up to like 155. Oh, but yeah, this summer, me and my twin brother plans on revamping up my shooting range. So I have my own shooting range, but it really needs some updating. So we're thinking about moving the shooting range. We got like an old barn that we think we're going to set up a shooting bench and stuff there. And it has a lot more open area. So actually, we think we might be able to get a couple hundred yards out of it potentially. So be aware that we might be doing a lot more gun content too. So if you guys are looking for some more realistic and honest gun reviews and stuff, and or even like drills, training type of videos and stuff like that too, that's kind of the goal. We have some barricade, well, they're like little barricade walls that we can like fold out, and so we can kind of set up some obstacles and stuff like that to shoot around and stuff. Peterbilt, I think we might be able to get a couple hundred yards out of it. I think we'll have to kind of start getting it set up to know for sure. I know definitely 100 yards. Yeah, I am an American. I'm in the free state of Missouri. Relatively free compared to some of the others. But yeah. So yeah, guns, monster trucks, beer, all that good shit. Okay, I would be interested. I'm less than a beginner when it comes to firearms. Even just super basic thoughts about how to find good deals and such would be a good start. Yeah, so for good deals for guns, and you know, I don't work for them or anything like that, but Palmetto State Armory is actually a pretty good place to get started into guns. You can get you a decent decent AR pistol combo right there at PSA. And yes, Peterbilt, guns, knives, swords, all that good jazz, and of course wild theories, you know, how Nephilim hybrids are controlling everything, and the earth is actually flat. Yeah, if you haven't figured that part out, then you know you're a little behind the times. But some guys like, do you like Psycho Trump? So here's my politics in a bag. Here, let's just bomb my whole channel. I don't care. But I think they're all baby boomer billionaire pedophiles, and I think they all are associated with Jeffrey Epstein, and they all like to wear the little hat and go bow down at the wall at that synagogue of Satan country over in the Middle East. How about that for politics, real quick in a nutshell? So, yeah, you're talking about price and performance. So with the like AR gun realm and stuff, you could spend as much money as you want getting into like guns and stuff. And as a guy like myself that uses guns a lot and shoots just thousands of rounds and gets a lot of training and all that good stuff, I will say once you get to like mid-tier price, and when I say mid-tier price, I mean kind of like right at or over $1,000 or more on a rifle. And I guess when I say rifle, I mean more so AR-15 versus like a $400 or $500 AR-15. You do notice of difference and a little bit better performance, especially in terms of reliability and parts going out and stuff like that. That being said, there's a lot of these, I think that they're feds, but guys here on YouTube that'll sit there and tell you that, like, oh, well, you need like this $5,000 rifle or $10,000 rifle just to even like compete. And I think they're full of shit. Quite frankly, I've done enough classes and training and stuff that I've seen that some of these higher end guns not only don't perform any better than like the mid tier, but I've actually seen more catastrophic issues with some of them, like Daniel Defense. I think Daniel Defense rifles are pieces of shit, in my honest opinion. That's just me. Some people might have a different story, but I've seen enough of them have weird issues that I don't trust them, really. Like, so, chill guy, people who drop thousands upon thousands on an AR and accessory make me cringe. Yeah, exactly. Like, if I was going to tell anybody, like, just getting started, I'd go buy you, like, a decent... Let me think how I'm going to say this here. I would go buy you like a decent PSA or like a Smith & Wesson M&P, or actually I've heard the little Ruger 5.56. I don't have any experience with it, but the Ruger 5.56, I've had a couple guys that I know and trust that's used those rifles, and those ones actually seem pretty decent. I'd grab one of them, get a shit ton of mags and ammo, and take some classes. And that's what I would tell you to do. Get you like a chest rig and stuff like that. Like a lot of guys, they'll get like a rifle and then they want to like start throwing on all kinds of Gucci crap on it. And then go from there. Drink whiskey. Yeah, Palmetto State PSA. Yeah, Palmetto State Armory. I'll just say PSA because they themselves will say PSA a lot of times, and also, PSA, Ruger, and the Smith & Wesson M&P Sport. Yeah, I'll hit you up, Peterbilt, definitely. And guys, if you follow me long enough, you probably have my email. I have my email posted on my YouTube channel. So if you guys ever have a question, I don't mind helping. And it's a lot of times too, if you just look through some of my videos, a lot of times I have answers to a lot of these questions too on some of my videos. Chill guy, I'm more of a Mini 14 guy. I've always have had a love-hate thing with the Mini 14. So I actually have a Mini 14. I have a Mini 14 Tactical, and I actually like it. It's a fun little rifle. The biggest thing for a Mini 14 for me is I wish they took freaking AR mags. I wish they did some kind of adapter or came out with like a new generation that made it take AR mags. And I've heard a lot of people like, oh, well, they can't make it take AR mags. It's like, I call bullshit, because you got guys manufacturing AK-47s that can take AR-15 mags. You could make damn near every... Henry came out with a lever action that takes freaking AR mags. So I know for a fact that a Mini 14 with just a slight little tweak and modification can take an AR-15 mag. And my biggest thing with the Mini 14 is I feel like the magazine has always been the weakest part of a Mini 14. And usually when I have an issue with the Mini 14, it's usually magazine related. And even with the Ruger brand ones, my day is going great, Zachary. Thank you. There might not be a market there, but at the same time, I think there would be, in all honesty. And the reason why I say that is, one, the Mini 14 is still popular with a lot of states and countries that's behind enemy lines, where they have communist gayness going on and they can't own, you know, like an AR-15. And so I still think the Mini 14 would be popular there, even with an AR mag. But I also think too, there's a lot of guys like myself too, that, you know, I got a handful of ARs and I just like shooting other things sometimes. But having something that takes the same mags as my ARs would be kind of nice as well. And so, and you constantly see companies like Palmetto State Armory coming out with like a new kind of gun that takes an AR mag and they sell pretty good. And so like the Jackal, or like their 5.56 AK, or, you know, a handful of others. And you have, you know, all kinds of companies coming out with AR alternatives, and they do pretty well. So I actually think the Mini 14 would do pretty good if they just gave it an update. Like if there's two things I could say to update on the Mini 14, it's the magazine, make it take AR mags, and I would like to see the sights be a little better, especially the rear sight, because right now the sights on them, it's just kind of more or less a fixed rear sight. You can do some adjustments, but you can't adjust it on the fly. It doesn't have dials on it like a real M1A. I would like to see, I would like to see Ruger update the rear sight a little bit. But that's it on a Mini 14. One guy, okay, I sent Jacob, oh yeah, your design looks kind of cool. I'd have to kind of see it like assembled to kind of really get the picture of it, but your design does look cool. And Brett Michaels, can't go wrong with a Glock. No, you can't go wrong with a Glock. Glock is my main go-to gun for a reason. And now I will say that there's a couple alternatives to Glocks that I think are just as good, if not better. The PSA Dagger, I kind of have a little bit of mixed opinions on. However, that new Ruger RXM or whatever it is, I've handled one of those, and those are actually nice. Like, in all honesty, if I didn't already have like a few Glocks, I probably would buy one of them. I actually think the ergonomics on it is better than even a Glock. That's just my opinion. Yeah, last thing I need is another Glock 19 size Glock, but at the same time, damn, I might end up having to buy that Ruger sometime in the future. And they're not even that pricey too. Yeah, I honestly, I think the Ruger outperforms the Glock in a lot of ways. Not necessarily as far as just like, oh, it's like more reliable or accurate or anything like that, but the ergonomics. I've always felt like the ergonomics on a Glock is a little wonky. And I know some people will say, oh, it's the like European style angle on the grip and stuff. And that's what it is, really. I do feel like I prefer the 1911 angle a little better. And the PSA Dagger actually has some really nice ergonomics as well. I had a Dagger for a little while as well. I couldn't get my Dagger to run hollow points the best, but they were also hand-loaded hollow points too. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but my Glock ran them just fine. So, you know. Also, in case you guys haven't been updated on this, my twin brother now lives up here with me as well. And so he's going to be helping out with the channel a lot more. He's also going to be, I'm probably going to give him access to the channel so he could upload videos on his own. And so I'm hoping that he can kind of help out, especially when I'm busy dealing with house and family stuff and I'm gone for a little bit. that he can kind of help out and keep some content rolling. But if anything too, I do need to show him how to like edit video and stuff, because he's kind of has no idea what the hell he's doing on that. So of course I don't do any like super detailed editing. All I really do is just we are twins, and I guess technically we're identical, but we have gone our separate ways for so long that like people who actually know us can tell the difference. But for editing, all I really honestly do is just pull my clips into, I use Adobe Illustrator Element, or not Illustrator, Premiere Elements. And I just pull my clips into there, cut them, short them, do whatever, add a little bit of transitions, add my logo, and that's it. I don't do anything else. Yeah, sorry, little Giggy boy is falling asleep. Little Gideon, the mini Huntsman. So, in case you guys missed it, Gideon is my son. He's my little reddish blonde-haired mini version of me. So one of these days when he's a little older, he'll be kind of doing more on the channel, I'm sure, as well, because he's definitely daddy's boy, and he definitely wants to do whatever I'm doing. So if it's guns and knives and all that stuff, he's interested. Oh, he does. And guys, if you have kids, you know, I know kids can be kind of a pain in the ass in a lot of ways, but at the same time, the enemy that is against us, they're playing the long game, and you have to play the long game as well. So, you know, it's not enough to say, oh, I'm going to buy some guns and ammo and stockpile up on some stuff and all that good stuff, because, you know, we have to remember the battle is a multi-thousand-year battle, at least. And so it might not be in your generation and lifetime. So, you know, for me, I think about it like I got raised the next gen, you know, Gen 2 Huntsman here type of thing, right? So, and hopefully he's even better than I am. So, because I'm not even like anything special. Like straight up, oh, dude, it is a kingdom. And like, here's the thing too, okay? If you think about it, the Lord's Prayer, it says, you know, on earth as it is in heaven. So when we run our lives as if it's a kingdom, it's kind of more closer to the way God runs things, in a sense, if that makes any sense. Like I'm going to sound a little wild, and, you know, I might not get everybody to agree with me, but anymore, I kind of have become how do I say this? Anti-democracy. How about that? And why is that? Because seemingly anymore, we have, oh, I just lost like 10 people watching. So yeah, I don't really care though. Anyways, what do you get with a democracy? You know, just think about that. We have mobs and mobs and mobs of people pushing the lowest IQ, dumb, easy, emotional, degenerate crap. And it forces people who would be, I don't know, more successful on their own to follow into that system. Oh yeah, I don't care. Like I've told people before, like, I really don't give a shit if I bomb my channel. Like, YouTube does not pay me for shit. Like, I'm lucky enough to get $100 a month from YouTube. Like, I could go walk alongside the highway and pick up coins off the side of the road and make more money than YouTube pays me. So, like, I don't give a shit. Like, if you're following me, you're following my crazy ideas and, you know, knife and guns and gear and stuff like that. But yeah, I kind of start to feel like, and this is where I'm at, all right? And I'm kind of all over the place here, but I feel like the corporate empire of the United States is kind of going by the wayside, and we're basically in the like spirit and following of Babylon. Sometimes I kind of think that the United States is Babylon of Revelations. And, you know, right off the bat, I'm not a prophet or anything like that. I'm just kind of going off of my own senses here. So I could be totally wrong here. So just kind of use your own discernment and kind of figure things out for yourself. But, and I feel that once Babylon burns and once it falls and once it collapses and all that good shit, it's going to come down to just like when Rome collapsed, it came down to local kings to fix things. And I feel like that's what's going to end up happening once again. And I'm not even saying that that's what I want to happen, but I recognize the pattern and I'm making preparations for that. And like I said, it might not even be in my lifetime. It might be young Gideon here dreaming about it right now, and he burns Babylon down to the ground and becomes local warlord king of, you know, Missouri for all I know. I don't know. But, and I've just kind of like jumped off the deep end on this one, but I don't really care. I mean, I'll just tell you guys straight up, you know, the one guy brought up, oh yeah, well, his name is Gideon Emmerich, which Gideon in Hebrew means warrior, and Emmerich is old Norse Old English for king. So I named him Warrior King. So there's a little bit of irony there. But, yeah. Well, I've mentioned this before, but you know, the one guy brought up like Trump and you're a psycho Trump supporter. It's like they're all baby boomer billionaire pedophiles. They were all friends of Jeffrey Epstein. They all go to the same synagogue of Satan country, all put on the small hat and all bow to the same wall. And it doesn't matter if they got a D or an R next to their name. Like, that's all just a circus show. In reality, I actually think, and this is going to sound a little off the wall, but when you really deep dive down into it, you're going to see what I'm talking about. I actually think a lot of the people that run things, especially from behind the scenes, are not even human. I think that they're still remnant descendants of Nephilim. That's just my opinion. I also think that a lot of these billionaire boys, they're just employees. So like, stop and think about this for a second, folks. If you're a trillionaire and you print money out of nothing, is it really that inconceivable to think that you could have a billionaire as an employee? Just, you know, wild thought there. It's just like when Mark Zuckerberg or some of these guys get out in public and they speak, they can't even hardly make a coherent sentence. And it's like, this guy didn't create or do shit. This guy is just a name and a character with a big paycheck that they put out in front of you to kind of take your eyes off of who might actually be potentially running things. And maybe, like I said, I might be going way off the deep end here. I don't really give a shit. But that's just kind of my opinion on it. It's why I don't like get so caught up into like politics and all that shit. You know, and if you held a gun to the back of my head and said Trump or Kamala, I'm going to say Trump. To me, that's slow boil instead of fast boil. At least that gives me more opportunity to get prepared and do my own thing. But I don't put any faith in it, for damn sure. We giant hunters now? Maybe. I mean, you know, when Jesus said it would be like the days of Noah, I think he was serious on that, and there was Nephilim. Now, Nephilim also is kind of an umbrella term. It doesn't mean just giants. There's actually a very interesting documentary by Trey Smith on YouTube here. You might check into it. I think it's actually called Nephilim. But, yeah, it's antediluvian, pre-flood. It's just like I think a lot of our technology today is just repeats of ancient old pre-flood technology. I actually think in some ways the pre-flood world was more technologically advanced than we are today. I mean, crazy off the wall subject here, but you know, you look at a lot of the megalithic structures and we can't even build that today. We cannot even we cannot rebuild the pyramids today with all of we don't even have machinery that can lift even a single block. But yet somehow they cut and moved those blocks from quarries 600-700 miles away. And before people's like, oh, they just use bronze chisels. Well, the problem with that is to cut something, you have to have something harder than what you're cutting, and bronze is not harder than granite. So just kind of a little wild thought there. And, you know, now I tell people this, kind of delve into it, but kind of have the Holy Spirit and pray to God about it, and don't like take it 100% for granted. But there's a lot of, you know, some of your older Freemasonic texts that, you know, like I said, I don't condone them, but their history is different than our history. And so it's kind of interesting that the common people are taught one kind of history while other people in higher up places are taught a different history. That might be kind of an easier way to put it. And I've probably lost a lot of people on this stream. I've went way off the deep end. I've went kind of all over the place. We went from talking about knives and guns and you know, hiking around and all that good stuff to antediluvian, wild, off-the-wall conspiracies. Oh. But, well, I think I might go ahead and wrap this up, folks. Thanks for hopping on. And as always, be prepared both physically and spiritually. God bless, and carry on.